what's been interesting, this is early June, and in some bizarre way, it feels like Groundhog Day for us in Kolkata because at this time last year, the first wave of the pandemic was going through India. The country was under lockdown. Um, we had just recovered, been hit by a major super cyclone, which had flattened large areas of the state. This time, just a couple of weeks ago, another Cyclone Yas, hit the state. Thankfully, it didn't affect Calcutta as much as people thought it would. It sort of bypassed. We got a lot of rain, but not everything wasn't flattened the way houses didn't fall and trees and all of that didn't quite happen the same way. But we're also again in a sort of lockdown. The difference is the numbers this time are catastrophically higher of COVID positive people, people testing positive, people testing dying. Because when India went into a lockdown for the first time last year, it did so when there were only about 500 cases in the country. And now, every day it's like tens of thousands of cases. The second wave has hit young people, and the young people are not, they're just about getting into the vaccination has been opened up for them. But it's been opened up, but there's not enough vaccines available for them. So it's kind of a tricky situation.
Well, and this leads me into my next question, which is I know a tricky one, but it's Pride Month, and so I was wondering how is it possible to describe how queer life in India is or is not been changed by the pandemic?
That's so interesting because a couple of years ago, when gay sex was decriminalized in India, it was an occasion for great rejoicing. It felt like a huge victory for people. Many people, didn't really expect it to happen in their lifetimes. They thought we would at best go into a sort of a don't ask, don't tell kind of acceptance, which was always the case. I mean, as we all know, just because something is criminalized doesn't mean that people stop being gay. Gay people will, they find ways to lead their lives, no matter how repressive the conditions. Now, what has happened is that as a result of the pandemic and the lockdown, many of the places where queer people could gather have shut down.